A quick prelude to this video. If you're only interested in seeing the static lights and the lighting features that it has to offer, skip ahead to 4 minutes and 46 seconds or stay tuned after I say great day, night, whatever it is, and you'll be able to watch all of those features. I'll throw in some music and we'll just go through all the features in the MANTA Tower build, and that way you can just see all the lighting features it has to offer. There are a lot of them. That's why this video is going to look a lot longer than it actually is for talking about the fans. Secondly, I don't feel too well and I feel like that affects the videos and makes them extra bad, more bad than they usually are, so I'm sorry about that. Alright, let's get going. Guys, what's up? It's Matt with 86 and we're taking a look at these upHere fans. I got a little bit of head stuff, so I sound probably a little bit congested. Sorry about that. But we're taking a look at these fans. They're by a brand called upHere. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about these. For $36, you get 5 fans. 5 fans that come with a hub and proprietary pin connections. They're 5-pin connections, and the hub can support up to 6 fans and 2 RGB light channels. Now the downside to the hub is it connects via Molex, and the downside to these fans is they're only 1100 RPM. So yes, they're pretty quiet, and we'll do some sound tests at the end of this video. I did the MANTA Tower setup so that we could hear it with the cover on, cover off, and that way you guys can kind of maybe hear the difference. I also compared it with Corsair's SP fans that are inside of her tower. Now with these fans, I do want to go ahead and point out, if you're going for something just aesthetic looking and you want to do an airflow setup, that's the best way to go. I wouldn't recommend using one of these fans as something to cool a radiator because you only have one setting. It can't ramp up or ramp down depending on your temperature, and you want to make sure that you're using something that's probably a little more specified, a PWM fan or something, to cool a radiator that might be cooling heated components like GPUs or CPUs. So on the remote, let's cover that too. There are a few discrepancies. I've noticed that some of the colors don't match up with what they are on the remote. That's just, you know, hey, $36. You kind of get what you pay for, and that might be something that's irritating to you, but you know, where red is green on here and green is red, oh well, I can live with that. They do list it as unlimited modes. There are a bunch of modes that you can cycle through. I started to count them, but then I was like, this is just too much. I'm sure there's something on there everybody can find. Throughout this video, I'll be posting some of the modes that I demoed, and maybe you'll see something you like. The fan itself has 10 light speeds, so you can go from this very low one. Now I will say that anything below 5 or 6 light speed starts to look pretty choppy and slow, so pretty much everything 7 and above is where you want to keep it. But you can go up to 10 different light speeds and sort of find that nice balance of what you're looking for as far as how fast you want the LEDs to be moving depending on what you've selected it to do. You can also set static colors, or you can turn it all the way off. If you don't want your lights on, you can start with off, and then there's 13 levels of brightness. So again, I don't think it looks really good anywhere in that 5, 6, 7 maybe on the lower dimmer lights, but it's there if you want it. The brighter the better to me, and that's typically what I think a lot of people would be interested in, is are they going to be bright enough? I definitely think they are, and they've got a good range of dim to bright or off altogether if you don't want the lights on. So I guess the price is an indicator of this too. They sent the dampeners that you could put on the side, the anti-vibration pads that you will install on the fan yourself. So it takes a little bit of time to sit there and do all that. I don't know why they couldn't have just put those on the fan, but they do send the rubber dampeners in order to help with anti-vibration when you install it into the tower. Just be aware that you're gonna have to do the work on that. The instructions are also in Cantonese, maybe Mandarin. I don't really know what it is, I don't read it, but I couldn't tell you anything that they said because they just weren't in English. And I'll say this part just to make sure I've said this. You can't individually address the fans. There's no user interface with this. They are out of the box. They utilize the remote, and you can go through all your functions or settings with this remote. It is an RF remote, not an IR remote, so you don't have to worry about line of sight in order for it to talk to the box. It should be able to do that fine. Something that I also think they should have included is something like a Velcro with 3M tape on the back sticky thing, because the box that it comes with is not easily mountable without that. And again, while I'm not a fan of Molex, I can live with one Molex connection into that hub that then powers up to 6 fans and 2 RGB light channels. That is pretty cool, especially for 36 bucks. Especially considering that if they're gonna be Molex and you can't adjust the speed and they're not PWM fans, then you're only having to deal with a little bit of sound, and they're pretty quiet for what they are. Alright guys, let's end here with the sound test. That way you can kind of hear them, what they sound like in an open tower, what they sound like in a closed tower, and compared to those SP120 fans. Anyways, guys, I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions about it, be sure and post down below and I'll make sure to try to get back with you. I'm sure there's something that you wanted to know about these that I probably didn't cover, and therefore ask your question down below and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Guys, have a great day, night, whatever it is, and I'll see you in the next video that I do.
Are we dreaming? 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 Dreaming.